Hey everybody, Tree Rhino here. I took a couple of quick videos when I had my tarp hung up out on the grandparents' farm. I don't think they turned out very well, and I was getting ready to put my tarp away and decided I'd just go over the same things that I talked about on that other video and make it look a little better. So here we go. I've got my Winter Dream 13. I had it out for the first time with my hammock, and I have an ENO Junglenest right now, which is a pretty short hammock. So when I hung this thing up, it's 13 foot. It gives me a ton of coverage. And inside, since I don't know how cold it's gonna get or what exactly I'll be doing, I've got my Yukon Outfitters top quilt, my Ember 2 underneath, and then I have my light and equipment convert that's rated at 0 degrees. So I'm just gonna kind of have this shoved up here on the end, and if in the middle of the night, if I need it, I can pull it up. I have a feeling I'm not gonna need it because I'll probably stay pretty warm. It has doors, which I've never had before, and I tried something different with the way that I have it hooked to the Ridgeline, so I'll show you that in depth in just a minute. First, just want to go over some of the basics of my Winter Dream. I did 9-foot pullouts on the side here, and then when I'm not using them, I just stick them through the other pullout, and it just holds them there. That way, when I roll it up in my tarp skins, they don't get all tangled. And I did decide to go ahead and just do a quick wrap on each of my guylines, so I can keep those from getting tangled up, as well as something I'm going to show you that I did with my doors. All right, when I'm not going to use the doors, I have one guyline on each side. So this is shared between the two doors, and I just slide this through the split rings on the other door and then hook it down. That's what I did the night when it was really windy. All right, so I mentioned the pullouts. When I'm not using them, I just slide it into the other side. So here's a pullout right here. When I'm not using it, I just slide it through the pullout tab on this side. Once it gets past the knot, it stays in there. You don't worry about it getting all tangled up or anything. But I want to show you real quick what I do with the doors when I'm not using them. I haven't really watched any videos of people with Winter Dreams. Maybe everyone does the same thing and I just don't know because I've never watched them. But what I did, I only put one guyline on each side. So this I just loop through the split rings on both doors when they're closed and hook them together. What I did when I'm not using the doors, I just pull one of the guylines over, use a little carabiner, slide it through the pull tab on the other one, and I made the guyline just long enough that I can actually clip it here, and it holds the doors in place. So when my tarp is actually pulled out and tight on both sides, the doors just lay flat on top. Like I said, maybe that's what everyone does, maybe that's what it's for, I don't really know, but that's just what I decided to do because I was messing around with it and it seemed to work. So this is the first tarp where I decided to go ahead and run the Ridgeline over the tarp, and that's because the other night, first night I had it out, we got a ton of rain and really, really strong winds. I apologize for the sway. My camera's hanging from my Ridgeline, so every time I move it just wobbles back and forth. I'm just laying here enjoying the sound of rain pitter patter hitting my tarp, and it is glorious. And the tarp worked wonderfully, but I have this really thick line. I don't even know what it is. And the reason I have that is because that's what I had laying around, and I didn't have a chance to order a continuous Ridgeline. I didn't really want to bother with it. And because I had these other line tensioners that I'm going to show you, and that's actually how I have it suspended. So with this thicker line, I noticed that when I reached up and touched it in the middle of the night, there's actually, you could feel the water was starting to run down it from the rain. So I decided from now on I'm gonna run it on the outside of it and then have the tarp underneath. But I'll show you how I have it suspended. So of course I have my snake skins, but I mentioned that I have this bigger line. So I took some chunk of my smaller line, tied it to the pull out on the tarp right there. What I actually have, these are actually just line tensioners for like a guy line. And when my Ridgeline is tight, it's extremely hard to pull these. Like there, it took quite a bit of force just to pull it out that little bit. And in order to adjust it, you'd have to pull it in to loosen it. And you can see it takes quite a bit of force to pull that in there. So I decided to try those. Go to the other side. I have the same thing on the other side. You can see how inside there, since that line is bent over, it just has enough tension, and this line is thicker, so it keeps it from sliding in and out. And then I just put the split ring, around it, and that keeps it right where I need it to be. So if I give it enough of a pull, there we go, I can get it to loosen if I need to. But once I'm ready to go tight and get it centered, I just give it a yank and it stays. And that night that I had it up at the farm, the weatherman, or weather report, whatever, said the winds were up to 50 to 60 miles an hour. And my tarp didn't move at all. Had the doors snapped shut, which is another great feature. Here we've just got these right here. They snap together all the way down. And like I said, with my line down here, I just loop it through both of those and then tie it out. And I didn't have any problems. Nothing came loose. I stayed dry the whole night. The only issue I had, as I mentioned, was I could tell the water was starting to run down this line. So now I just ran the line on top of my tarp, and we'll see how it goes next time. So I got my door guy lines. I just wrap those up, leave that carabiner on the end. I don't even know what this type of thing is called. I just run it around a few times and then tighten it up on itself. Pull it tight, done. Do the same on the other one. Like I said, I only have one on each side, so I don't have to do one for each door. Just one for each set of doors. Less line, less tangles, and it's easier. I mean, if my doors are closed, they're going to be hooked together at the bottom anyway. See if I can get some, maybe the little door hooks, so I can open them up and reattach them quicker. Alright, so now everything's all twisted up together, all my lines are set. These are ready to go, they're out of the way, so now I can just start rolling it up, put my snake skins on. Just start on one side and just throw my one end in there a little bit. Just roll it on up. That's one thing I noticed, this thing is huge compared to my last tarp. So rolling takes a bit more work. And once it gets up there, you start pulling the snake skins on and just keep going. Out. And I did just reuse the snake skins from other tarp, so I think they're only 12 footers, so they'll stick out a little bit, but it doesn't affect me. I can still get them centered and they hold everything in there just fine. Getting a good old group of stuff in the middle, slow it down, get some air out. And I always just fasten one side all the way down, overlap it just a little bit. Yep, it's about the perfect length. So if I had a 13-foot snake skin, it would probably be a little bit too long. like that. And disconnect this end real quick. Didn't have it hooked up very well, just enough to take this video. Around my tree. And another nice thing about snake skins, I have the ones with the pocket on them. Sorry, getting this off the tree. There we go. We've got the pocket on the end. So before I put it in my stuff sack, bring my stuff sack over the tarp, loop this up a few times, all my extra cord. Oh, and just tucks in a little pocket. And yeah, I'm amazed how big a difference that makes, not having to try to twist it up, tie it up. It's just stuffed in there, all ready to go. Got my stuff sack, what I did last time, which helped to find the end. I just kept my little tensioner outside the pocket. So I just tighten it around my cord. And of course, since I'm recording, it's not going to be as easy as it normally is. There we go. Pull it tight. And that's just my indicator of which side that is. So I know that's the side that has the extra cord on it. So I'm always going to start from the other side that I have a clip on. My stuff sack is still a little wet. Just on the outside though. We got a ton of rain that night. Alright, unclip this side. And I have to say, got some Cuban fiber stuff sacks. They're nice and light, but man, I've already got like 4 holes in it. And I'm pretty careful about where I put them. Always have things in my bag around them, make sure there's nothing that could poke a hole in there. Don't have any holes in my tarp though, so not sure what happened there. Maybe they're small holes that were there when I got it and I never noticed. I've only used them a few times, so who knows. But they still work, so until a hole tears in there big enough for my tarp to fall out, I'm gonna keep using them. All right, other end. Stuff that last bit of cord in there. There you go. I mentioned those holes, so looks like there's even a few more here. Look at, there are actually cuts in there, so I don't know what that would come from. They're all on one side, so I guess I'll try to figure that out.